All right, let's set the scene. Imagine this. You're born in 12th century England. Your parents, they're peasants. And what that means is, from the second you take your first breath, your life is pretty much already written for you. And it's not a great story. It's a life of backbreaking work on some noble's farm.
And what does that really mean? Well, it means there's just no hope. You're stuck, born into this endless cycle of poverty and hard labor, just like your parents before you. There's no money to be made, no glory to be won, just the grim reality that you'll probably end up in an unmarked grave. But what if there was just one way out?
So there is a path, but man, it is a huge gamble. See, towns are starting to blow up into cities, and skilled craftsmen, they're the new rock stars of the economy. Your father, he pulls you aside one day and tells you about one of these guys, a blacksmith. This man is everything you're not supposed to be. He's wealthy, he's important, he's a master of his craft. And right there, that's the plan. You're going to become his apprentice. This is it. This is your one and only shot to get out of the mud.
I mean, think about the difference here. It's like two different worlds. Your life, as a peasant, is all about what you don't have. Your diet is basically bread, maybe some fish if you're lucky. Meat, that's a fantasy. Your future is, well, it's farming in the mud. But the blacksmith in the city, oh, he commands respect. He's making weapons for actual nobles, and you can bet he's eating well every single night. It's a completely different universe, and you're about to try and bust your way in.
And get this, you're just 8 years old. 8. And you're sent away from everything you've ever known, packed off to this loud, chaotic, totally overwhelming city. Your new life? It's about to begin at the Forge.
All right, so now we're at the Forge. This is where your new life starts. And let me tell you, it is not the grand adventure you might have been dreaming of. Nope. It's a brutal, fiery trial right from the get-go. You walk in, and the master blacksmith, he barely even glances at you, just barks, change your clothes, and get to work. So much for a warm welcome, right? The reality of this apprenticeship sinks in real fast. You're not learning some noble craft. Not yet, anyway. You're fetching water, you're hauling these impossibly heavy sacks of charcoal, and you're working the bellows over and over just to keep the fire hot, all day, from dawn till dusk.
The rules of the game are simple, but the stakes couldn't be higher. See, a gig like this is one of the only ways up and out, so the competition is absolutely cutthroat. You're not getting paid in coin. Your pay is the food in your belly and the roof over your head. And if you can't prove you're worth that scrap of bread, well, you don't get the bread. There are no second chances here. Why? Because there are a dozen other kids, just as desperate as you, waiting to take your spot. You fail, you starve. Simple as that.
So yeah, your whole life as an apprentice is this constant, high-stakes tightrope walk. One wrong move, and it's game over. You're just trying to survive the exhaustion, the competition, and that constant fear of being tossed right back into the dirt you fought so hard to leave behind. Okay, so fast forward 7 years. 7 long, grueling years. You've finally done it. You're no longer an apprentice. You're a blacksmith. You've actually mastered the craft. But just when you think you've made it, a brand new, totally uncertain chapter begins. The life of a journeyman. So you're 15 years old now. Your 7 years are up. Your master comes to you with the traditional choice. Option 1, you can stay. It's a safe job, you're guaranteed food, but you'll work for him forever, always in his shadow. Or option 2, you can go. Hit the road as a journeyman. This is how you really make a name for yourself. But it means risking everything to travel, learn from others, and forge your own destiny. It's a huge gamble. And you take it. You decide to go. And you probably regret it almost immediately. The first few weeks are just brutal. You're homeless, you're starving, you're doing any tiny job you can find just for scraps of food. I mean, look at this climb from nothing. After a whole month, your first gig is fixing a farmer's hoe for a bowl of stew. It takes 2 months before you get a job that pays you an actual coin. And it's another 7 years. 7 years of pure grit and constant work before you even start to build a real reputation for yourself.
All right, so now you're 22. Your journeyman days are behind you. You are officially a master blacksmith. You've made it. But here's the thing about success. It brings a whole new kind of danger. Dangers that are, believe it or not, way scarier than just starving.
Your reputation, the one you fought so hard for, has spread like wildfire. Nobles, mercenaries, generals, they all know your name. And that's a problem. Why? Because there's a civil war brewing. And in a time of war, a master blacksmith isn't just a guy who makes tools. You're a strategic weapon. And some very powerful people, they want to own that weapon.
This is your new reality. These powerful people, they don't offer contracts. They don't ask politely, they take. You start hearing whispers, rumors, that some faction wants to kidnap you, just snatch you up and force you to be their slave, hammering out weapons for their army day and night. So you're forced to go into hiding, because you know if they find you, your life as you know it is over.
But you're smart. You're lucky. You managed to evade capture. And then, a powerful lord, one of the good ones, he notices your skill, and he actually hires you as his personal blacksmith. And the rewards, they're just insane. We're talking a home that's basically a castle. You've got servants, you're eating the finest food, drinking the best wine, stuff that was once only for nobles. This is the life you gambled everything to get.
But of course, this kind of success comes with a price tag. Your new boss, the Lord, he needs weapons. And we're not talking a few dozen here and there. We're talking thousands of swords, axes, sets of chainmail, enough to outfit his entire army. The pressure is just immense. Suddenly, the outcome of actual wars depends on how fast and how good you are.
And you know what? You rise to the challenge. You hire your own apprentices now, building a whole team. Your forge becomes this legendary operation. It's like the beating heart of the entire city. You've actually done it. You went from being a peasant boy with nothing to the most important, most respected blacksmith in all of England.
So eventually, the war is over. Peace finally settles across the land. And this is where the final chapter of your story begins. It's not about survival anymore. It's about building a legacy, something that will last long after your own fire has gone out.
With peace comes organization, and this is when the guilds really start to take off. Think of them as these powerful clubs that set the rules, control prices, and protect trade secrets. They become the real power in the cities. And you, knowing exactly how brutal this life can be for a young kid starting out, you become a huge supporter of the guilds. Your reputation is so massive at this point that you're made the head of the Blacksmith Guild. You're not just a craftsman anymore, you're a political player. I mean, you've done it all. You've achieved more than any peasant could ever possibly dream of. But there's a catch. After a whole lifetime spent breathing in smoke, surrounded by heat, working with all those metals, there's one last price you have to pay, and it's one you can't avoid.
Then one day, you realize you can't ignore it anymore. Your hands shake. You have this cough that just never goes away. You see a doctor, and the diagnosis is grim. It's lead poisoning. All those years of inhaling fumes from the forge, it's poisoned you from the inside out. And the worst part, there is no cure. It's just a slow, inevitable march towards the end.
You're 47 years old. The doctor tells you most blacksmiths are lucky if they see 50. Your time is running out. So, what do? You accept it. You look back on your life, not with regret, but at everything you built, at the legacy you forged with your own two hands. You've trained dozens of apprentices who are now masters in their own right. You've helped create a guild that will protect the next generation from the hell you went through. You literally helped shape the city you call home. An empire was built on the steel that came from your forge. So in the end, yeah, your body is failing. But the fires you started, they'll never go out. And as you take your final breath, you can still hear it, the sound of hammers on steel echoing through the city. Because you were never just a blacksmith. You were the fire that shaped an empire.